Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and in Twitter news, aka X news. Before I dive in, if you're a longtime listener, follower, or reader of mine, you know that I have talked about this at length. And I basically wrote an article for Smerconish of CNN and SiriusXM, about 2-ish years ago now at this point, essentially entitled Why Twitter Will Die. And in there, I talk about very specific things about how, while the platform could stay around for years and years and years, fundamentally what it is essentially going to go away. Now take that as the backdrop, because the intent of Jack Dorsey, founder of Twitter, essentially was to make an open town hall where people in short bursts of characters could essentially microblog, could talk about the events of the day. Now, I've always said that Twitter is where civility goes to die, but lately it's been getting worse. And I think that Twitter is continuing its slow implosion towards oblivion as people essentially leave the platform as it becomes untenable. But here's what's going on, which is why I'm doing a video slash podcast slash radio segment on this one. And that is simply this. After Elon Musk confirmed his plans to introduce a small fee for some users, X has now confirmed that it will soon limit the ability to live stream, essentially to premium subscribers only. Now, this news was confirmed by the @live profile on Twitter, aka X. And although no date has been specified, the post says that free users will no longer have the option to live stream on the platform. That's amazing, because social media, especially in the age of TikTok, etc., is all about live streaming, or even recorded video you're putting out as live. If you're watching this, odds are you're getting it off of YouTube or another platform that YouTube is replicating to in your ecosystem. And by virtue of that, it's pre-recorded, but I can set these things to go live. And I do occasionally do live feeds. But if I lose that ability on Twitter, then what's the point of me using Twitter, especially as somebody that does content all day? Now, on top of this also includes live streaming, basically via an encoder platform that has an integration to X. And so if you want to keep live streaming on X, you're going to have to pay for that subscription, which is $8 a month or $84 a year. Oh, the savings. Now, X Premium also gives you access to things like the blue check mark. I've talked about that extensively. That has been a complete and absolute nightmare of a disaster. And while I think the Twitter verification system before Musk took over, had issues in and of itself. In other words, it took me forever and ever and ever to get a blue check mark. Only like 2 months later to have it completely destroyed when anybody could get one of these things, especially with all the hoops I had to jump through, etc., etc. There is the blue checkmark problem, which, again, horrible. Other exclusive features such as creator subscriptions, larger posts, which, again, I'm not a fan of. If you can go to like 5,000 or 7,000 characters or whatever, it's nice to have a couple hundred more on occasion, but my God, people are writing treatises on these things now, and fewer ads in the timeline, but of course, you'll still get ads. Quote, starting soon, only premium subscribers will be able to live stream, create video live streams on X. This includes going live from an encoder with X integration, upgrade to premium to continue going live. So this move, for the record, doesn't come as a surprise to basically anybody, as Elon Musk has been trying to find ways to monetize what he has lost essentially tens of billions of dollars purchasing. He purchased it for $44 billion. It is worth less than half that now, from what I understand, maybe even less than a half. So that's a huge thing. And so Musk earlier this year suggested charging a small fee to let new accounts post to X as a way of avoiding spam and bots, when quite frankly, there are platforms out there that could simply thwart the bots, but they can't do it. Neither can Facebook, because you lower the bots, which means you lower the user count. You can tell your potential advertisers, which is how you make money, and so they'll never get rid of them, which includes the Russian bots, the disinformation, and all that mess. So users who choose not to pay would only be able to follow other accounts and read posts for free. So in other words, what really is the point of X at this point? And since studies have already shown that the vast majority of users on Twitter or any other social media platform simply won't pay, they'll migrate somewhere else, it looks like he's really trying to torpedo this. Now, I understand his grand vision is to have like a one-stop shop, of everything. Basically, if you've ever seen The Office, Ryan created something called Woof, and if somebody's trying to get a hold of you, it would call you, email you, text you, fax you, blast you in some way, shape, or form, whatever it was. And it seems like that's what Elon Musk wants, including turning X into a payment system as well to compete with like Zelle or Venmo or something like that. But the point is that as we have seen the safeguards of X go away, they cut drastically their infrastructure plus their safety teams. We have seen an explosion of anger, political machinations online, bots from intelligence agencies spewing disinformation, especially horrible in an election year, not just for the United States, but for all over the world. So this is a huge problem that we've got. And I think X continues its implosion, and as the sane, rational people leave, all you are left with is basically the angry, hate-filled folks that do nothing but scream and scream and scream all day, as if that really matters in the grand scheme of things. So here we are, not a fan of where this was going. Wasn't a huge fan of Twitter beforehand, but now this is just way worse, and it continues to get worse. And quite frankly, Elon Musk turning into one of the largest trolls on the internet. And Lord knows I'm going to get hate for that as well, but it's demonstrably true. We're going to see where this goes, but here we are. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter for as long as Twitter or X exists, and also on YouTube. Well, you know what? I might actually quit Twitter sooner than later. That said, I've got thousands of followers on Twitter, so we'll see. But it's a serious contemplation I think I and a lot of other creators have done in the world. But anyway, follow me there. You can follow me on YouTube as well. Please subscribe there. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please, attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.